Y'all good? Oh my gosh, thank you, man. We here finally. It's been a long journey, everybody.
Long journey, like the last 20 minutes.
Long journey, man. Welcome back, man. From the outside. Got the young boy over there.
What a bitch is that?
He's not gonna start the interview.
We start early. Where the bitches? Where the titties at?
He on camera wallet, son. He on camera wallet. I respect it, dude.
He don't represent the podcast, y'all.
He definitely represents the podcast.
He don't represent the podcast.
I'm what these niggas scared to do and say on the internet, man. Come on, bro.
All right, it's enough for your introduction. That bit was too long.
Turn his mic off.
All right, now we got the golden child in the building.
You know
The chosen one.
You know the vibe.
You gonna say your name?
Yeah, him.
All right, that's good. And we got me, of course. Everybody come to see.
I can bring the soundboard back. Really do, though.
So you can't. Come on
That's
now.
what they came in for. They came for the booze. Come on.
You don't do that, son. But yeah, how y'all doing today, man? We got my man's in the building. Let him introduce himself.
What's up, man? Andrew Albert of Exclave Spirits, River Basin Distillery. That's it, man. That's it, man.
I'm the soundboard for the
Man, so talk to our listeners. Tell them something about you.
Shit, man. Fuck, I don't know, man. I'm just selling whiskey, telling stories, man. Trying to build community and shit. You know what I mean? Do shit on my own terms.
Nah, facts.
That's it, bro.
That shit lit.
Facts.
Nah. Oh, go ahead. You can go. Go ahead.
So that boy Austin, he had been sent me like y'all happy hour flyer.
Yeah.
We gotta pull up to this.
Yep.
So y'all did it again for July. We pull up, chopping it up with you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You talked about you started on something great about like why you started.
For sure.
Whiskey. Tell the people about it.
Yeah, man. Like originally, you know, being from New Orleans, we just chose all day long, right?
Right.
So I just wanted a bar, play my own music, serve drinks, talk shit. That's it. And it was always something, because, you know, I like community and shit. You come from a fairly big family and like being, you know, around people and telling stories and shit like that. So when I was like, all right, well, what does it take to open a bar, doing the research and all of that, I'm like, yo, you don't really make no money when you run a bar. Margins is not high.
Facts.
You got to worry about people control. You got to worry about consistently driving people there. You got to worry about actually, you know, managing the place and making sure it's a place that people want to be at. It's too much and, you know, not enough in the return. So I'm like, all right, cool. If they make such and such margin, I know the people they buying from, their margins have to be high because they don't have all of the overhead that this bar has. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, then less overhead means less people, less other headaches. I only got to worry about myself and the moves that I make. So I'm like, well, shit, maybe I got to sell liquor, right? So I started doing all the research, you know, trying to see how different distilleries that were popping up in my lifetime, how did they begin? Because most times you think 200, 300 years old, something that's always been around. But around, I would say 06, 08, you started to see like a bunch of craft distilleries just pop up. Right. And I was just aware of that, just being as somebody that enjoys whiskey. So I'm like, all right, cool. All of these distilleries are popping up. That means that it's an accessible market. Then I started thinking about what I'm selling, you know what I mean? I'm selling whiskey. Everybody I know drinks whiskey. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the States alone drink whiskey.
Yeah.
How many millions of people are in the United States? There's no way these small distilleries are, you know, actually putting that shit out there.
Yeah, keep going. Go ahead. Don't worry about us. Fuck us. We listening.
So, you know, like there's far too many people for these small distilleries to be producing the amount that's needed for like consistent consumption, which means you got to do that shit at scale. You know, everybody in the world wears T-shirts, so that means small shops is not creating T-shirts. That's massive production to just fulfill the sheer number of people. So I'm like, all right, cool. So where are all the other distilleries getting their shit from? Because if they able to serve 10 million people, they could for sure serve another 2 million on top of that, which is my target audience. So there's a distinction in distilling between like actual, like full craft distillation and sourcing whiskey. So whiskey, like real quick, and pardon me if I'm getting too like.
This nigga
You
really know
good,
the
go ahead.
history
Talk
of
that
this
shit, go ahead, you good, talk that
That's how you
shit.
know nigga who do their work.
So any distilled spirit is distilled from an organic compound, right? So with wine, it's grapes. With whiskey, it's rye, corn, malted barley, grains. So I'm like, all right, cool. You can do that. That's very expensive. You got to source the rye. You got to have the facility do it. You got to wait the whole 3 years. How do I buy some shit that's already distilled but unaged? Because the flavor profiles come from the aging of whiskey. So it's stored in these wood barrels, and the longer it ages, the more mellow it becomes, and the more of the natural taste that you get from the grains get enhanced.
So that's how smooth it is. The longer it is, the smoother it is.
Not necessarily smooth, but more refined. Exactly.
All right, you got it.
Like the flavors come through more. So I'm like, all right, cool. You save more money because you're buying something that's already done, right?
Yeah.
It costs more to buy every single aspect of making a T-shirt than you could go buy, 5 T-shirts for $8. All right, cool. That's the route I'm going. That's called sourcing distillate. So all I got to do now is find a warehouse, a place that I can store the whiskey and age the whiskey on my own terms. All right, cool. Well, that's not really the timeline I want, because that would mean I would be out 4 to 5 years. I'm trying to get paid now. So if they got big enough facilities to produce all of these barrels, then I know they got to be aging their shit. All right. The new barrel costs $500. How much a 3-year barrel costs? $15? Cool. That means the price at the end just got to go up a little bit, and I can make that on the back end and start selling now.
Oh, that's fly.
So what I do is I source aged and unaged distillate, get it shipped to New Orleans, do the bottling myself. That way I can get it in market in under 6 months as opposed to over 6 years.
That's
That
fly
boy
as
just
fuck.
dropped buku
That's
game on
fly
the nigga.
as
That's what's
fuck.
up, though.
Damn.
And you just started researching whiskey?
Researching whiskey, distilled spirits, manufacturing.
Yeah.
Like I ask people all the time, like just random people. If you tell me you into some shit, how you got into that? Like, what's the purpose of that? Like, why you still with it? What you don't like about it? Like, just trying to get to an understanding of how people in different industries are moving. Because you could take, some shit from that and apply it to yourself. You know what I mean?
Nigga knows
That just comes with always having that ear open to learn more and, just probe for more information and shit like that. A lot of niggas don't even want to do that, but
And
I
being
really like
humble,
that
you know
you
what I
done did your
mean?
research and
Yeah.
shit and all that, man.
I think,
For real.
being humble and being like, yo, I don't know nothing about this topic. I'm asking you. Like, I could have came in and been like, man, like, whatever. Like, I see I got your little podcast, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to do all that shit. It was the first thing I did. I asked him, I'm like, yo, what type of camera is that? I was like, yo, like, explain to me how this works, like, what y'all doing. And you broke that shit down, and I'm, like, picking up the brand names and shit like that, like Audio Technica, Zoom is on the board. I'm like, all right, cool, let me go Google what that shit is. Because I might, have a great experience with y'all, probably will, and be like, yo, I might want to be a part of that. Like, let me see what the numbers is like on that. You know what I mean? And you just file that shit away. And it may be nothing. Like, it may never come back up. But it may click. And if it do click, then I done did the work already to just pull it back out.
This is true. Before we even started recording, this nigga was, asking around and all that shit. I'm looking at the camera and better people know and all that extra shit. Continue though, man. I'm fly on the wall right now. You just talking that shit.
I mean, and that's, and once I realized that, I was like, all right, cool. Now I got a product to sell. All I got to do is convince people to buy it. You know what I mean? And all of that, to be completely honest, came from like a very like pivotal job experience I had, like my first real job. You know what I mean? And so we could tell that story, or y'all want to talk just whiskey, we could talk about whatever y'all want. I'm here to
we
just
good.
give all of that shit.
We can talk about everything. Fucking talk about getting out of college jobs, because my getting out of college job, I had a similar experience, man. You get thrown in that water early, you just got to adjust on your feet.
Sure. Yeah, like I
Because
told
most of the
you-
time, people
yeah.
don't get into what they went to school for.
Right, no, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
facts.
why I studied philosophy.
Yeah.
Because I had that realization. You start talking to people that, like, when you get to college, you got to declare your major and shit like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Next 4 years, I'm out this bitch. 4 years not that long. Let me go see what they doing. You talk to somebody that's I don't know, fucking a lawyer or whatever. Man, what you study? I studied history or some shit. You know, they got fucking doctors that say, yeah, I study biology, but I really want to study English. You know what I mean? They got English teachers that's fucking, I don't know, mechanics or carpenters or some shit like that. So I'm like, if none of y'all doing what you actually studied, man, let me just get real smart. Let me just go study what the smart niggas back in the day was studying. Let me go read that shit. Because they was on some shit. They built societies and all of that. So let me see how they broke that down. And I'm like, all right, when I get out of school, I'm going to just figure that bitch out. It's going to be easy because I knew all the arguments.
Nigga got me wishing I should have did philosophy, man. That shit
was
nice,
hard as a
boy.
bitch.
Real shit, though.
But the 5 point, you still could.
Nah, facts, I still do. I read a lot now.
Because I know you do, because you was asking me about some political shit earlier.
Oh, yeah,
talking about identity and community. Shit like that.
Real shit, though. You got to be knowledgeable in a sense, because
sure.
what my fucking dad used to tell me, probably not even my dad, some old nigga, though. Some old nigga used to be like, if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book.
Right.
That's the craziest tale ever, son. And when they say nigga, you know, they saying nigga, like,
they mean
black
that
ass
shit.
nigga. Like, yeah. They saying shit like that.
That's funny.
Yeah, son. So that's how I started reading.
What did you study in college? I'm curious.
Business administration and economics. I got the economics mind off just because I took so many economics classes.
Yeah.
Not because I really know this shit.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
So
you?
niggas don't be thinking about asking me about no stock market. I don't know too much about it.
Marketing. I started biology.
Yep.
You get me?
You what?
I was 2 years, damn near 3 years in the bio pre-med. Same dilemma, like I worked at LSU Medical School. I'm like I fuck with it, but it's like I was looking at my diet, I'm like, bro, I don't got time for like what he do. Like that nigga wake up at 6 in the morning. I was in clinic with this nigga one time till like fucking 10 o'clock. I'm like, I don't like niggas that much. Like,
Right.
so
You can't even see outside. You just have
like-
fluorescent light and shit.
Like, I like moving around. Like,
Yeah.
So, I was in college. Like, I started sewing pants. Like, I always had like some form of like this since like middle school. I had some form of business.
Yep.
So I'm like, fuck. Like,
You was selling pants?
in college,
I know it.
he didn't know that.
Oh, college. I'm thinking you said high
college.
school. My bad.
Booming freshman year. And
Oh, you had it booming like that?
The
Damn.
nigga used to really do alterations. You
No, he
remember that shit?
alterated something for me, but I didn't know he had it.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had the
I was
trap
taking-
jumping.
Nah, like I was taking like real alters business with pants. Like I'm really cold with a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Like I'm just doing buku different shit. I'm like, this not it. Like I picked up like Photoshop or something. Like,
Yep.
I'm doing something in business, so I changed my major to marketing. Like, that was it. But it's crazy. Like around that time, I think I told you this, I really wanted to study philosophy.
Yeah.
Like that's something that always interested me. Like, why do people think? Like, why do you think the way you think? Like,
Yeah.
and that'll give you the answer to everything. That's why like I be pissing them boys off because I see both sides of every argument.
Right.
Like,
For sure.
Facts. That is facts, dude.
Bro.
You do see both sides of it. You be blowing it with that. Some shit be one-sided to me.
it don't.
I know, so I'm just joking, though, sir.
Dog, I figured out a cheat code in high school to like write the perfect paper and shit. Get all A's. Take a single topic. You take the 3 best arguments against that shit, and you lay them out like very clear. Like this is argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, and every time you do that shit, you explain why it's wrong. And you go down the second one why it's wrong, and the third one why it's wrong, and then you close with, I just told you why everything wrong, and this is why my shit is right. So when nigga read that, like subconsciously, like damn, you knocking all of this shit down. So whatever you say, it's gotta be right, because you proved to me you did all the work. Well, once I figured that shit out, I'm like, psh, it's over.
You did that in high school?
Yeah, high school.
Yeah, it makes sense why you were a philosophy major.
Right.
That boy was ahead of the game for real.
Yeah.
I don't even remember typing a paper. What school you went to?
I went to Lusher.
Boy, or college. That could be why though.
I definitely typed papers in high school.
Yeah.
You type like papers like
English though.
I had honors.
But that was
and- I had honors
bullshit.
and all
Well,
that shit
my
too.
shit was bullshit.
That's
I don't
what I'm
know about
saying.
your
I
shit,
feel like-
I'll be telling you, I read like Toni Morrison, James Baldwin. Like I read that
Yeah,
shit
same
like
here.
junior in high school. Like I done read Frederick Douglass.
You ran that shit in class?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, we had to.
to
Damn.
write papers on that. Like Frederick Douglass' letter to like the fucking what you call it shit, like people who were for emancipation. Like he had a speech on 4th of July. Like I read that shit. I was like,
All right, I could believe you read it, but you really took it in. That's kind of
yeah,
different.
No, I was shitty with doing work. Like I almost failed
Right.
high school, like senior year. I almost ain't graduated. Like I was supposed to speak during graduation. I was class president. I didn't speak because I was supposed to not graduate. Like
Damn, for real?
Yeah,
I didn't know you about to fail.
yeah, because I didn't go to that class. Like, it was 7th period AP English my senior year. I'm not going to that. Like,
Right.
And I gotta write every day. I'm not going. But I used to really read the shit though. But like, yeah. yeah, I've been reading that shit though. That's kind of what I wanted to do for life.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's something though. But yeah, y'all niggas should read.
What's done? Oh, business administration,
Sure.
concentration, human
Human
resources.
major was bullshit.
How?
Nigga shooting pool.
How?
This nigga was shooting pool every day.
Shot pool every day.
He what school you went to?
I went to Loyola.
All right. Well, I don't know if y'all really got this, but he like the fresh nigga on campus, fresh nigga that just playing pool, just chilling. He trying to look good, right? Yeah, everything they had.
Too cool for everything.
He used to walk with his pool sticks.
Nah,
He used to bring his pool stick to the union.
I don't even own a pool stick. Don't let these niggas lie to you. But yeah, before, I met these niggas, I really was just, just whatever. But that boy put me on, going to the library and all that extra shit. So shout out to that nigga. I do fuck with Austin bitch ass,
I've been trying to help these young black men, man. Trying to tell you, dog. Young people, I'm really a guy like that. I'm gonna help. What? I'm just letting them know. You feel what I'm trying to say?
Funny.
I got a question for you. Like, what's next for for Exclave, right?
Yeah.
So like, just from like a business perspective, right? Like, what you feel is left for you to do in New Orleans before you move to another market, or are your plans to move to another market while you continue to build New Orleans as a market?
Yeah, both. 2 markets at the same time. There's always work to be done in New Orleans, just because New Orleans is the type of city where there's a lot of people coming through. So like when you don't have a stagnant population, like you have to keep shit fresh, otherwise people don't come.
Fact.
And like the whole city is dependent on people coming. You know what I mean?
Tourism.
So, for sure. So I'm kind of lucky in that respect because like it forces me to be aware of shit. Like selling liquor in New Orleans is probably the hardest thing to do because most times, like when somebody go into a spot, they just, man, what you got, I'm drinking because I'm here to drink. I'm not going to leave because you don't have the brand. So
Niggas drinking well in the city.
for sure, 100%. Bad shit. Fucking all the liver up and shit.
$2 shots.
Right.
That's crazy.
So you got to really convince, like, no, this is the shit. And you got to get people to go out and buy it and request it and ask for it and shit like that. That's why, we was doing the shit at Barrel Proof, so it's to build community. Because it's like, yeah, the drinks is cool. Like, it got to be award-winning before it even go in a bottle and I put it out there. Like, that's absolutely, like, mandatory. So I know the shit is good. So if the shit is good, what else? Like, it's not the drinks that we're talking about. It's the space and the community building in between drinking and what drinking facilitates. That's really what's valuable. And people remember that, and they associate that good time with the brand. You know what I mean?
Damn, that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, he broke that down to us when we was at Brow Proof. That's the day your attendance wasn't perfect.
That nigga attendance not perfect. He a stunner.
Attendance never perfect.
Them niggas, you know how when you laying down in the bed, bro, but sometimes like they call you as soon as you get too comfortable, so it's like, damn, you should have called me while I was outside.
Right.
It was one of them.
What?
I was starting at
6?
6 o'clock.
You don't be
Well,
outside,
6, this
though.
nigga at like
Who?
5 o'clock, like, say, bro, we pulling up the Barrel Proof. Like,
Them niggas told me like 7 o'clock.
You
7
gotta get
o'clock
up out
came.
your bed. You don't
Hey,
need to
yo,
call
big
me.
on
You
me.
ain't
Big
doing
on
nothing
7
in the
o'clock
crib.
came. I look. Nigga ain't say nothing. I was like, all right.
He texted me at 5 and he like, y'all fuck up that? I'm like, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
we there.
Yeah.
So 7 o'clock come, I'm like, I'm gonna hit you when we on around that time. Bet, right? 7 o'clock come, was good with it. Dead. Called him, FaceTime. Dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, this nigga attendance not perfect.
Them niggas supposed to hit me at 7 o'clock, bro. They missed their window. 7:01. It was over with.
Hold on. This is what I'm gonna say. Look,
What's
listen.
up, bro? Be punctual or don't come
That
at
man
all.
said,
Can
man,
I-
I
can
took
I-
my socks off.
That's what I'm
Man,
saying.
like, no,
That's
it's,
what
Can I get my side
We get
off?
to this point, though, we get to this point about all that smart.
Your point long.
When, I know.
I thought you reached that. I thought you reached that
I was
bitch.
joking about him.
I really thought you reached it, though.
About him creating the moment, right? You created that moment when me and Austin was sitting at the bar. We had got the old fashioned, and nigga played fucking. We nigga played Kanye. Nigga played like All Falls Down, or we nigga played.
One of the Kanye records. I can't remember.
Yeah, Austin, we that bitch like. I've never heard this shit.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so that's a moment. I feel
you just hear it at the house.
Yeah,
You know what
like
I mean?
this shit that I play in my headphones. Like, so like to hear that out, that shit came out 2003. So like to hear that out, me and Austin was like, what the fuck? So I think that's a moment that like you talking about creating.
That's a moment.
That tied us into Exclave to say that like, fuck, I fuck with Barrel Proof now too. Like,
Yeah,
For sure.
fact.
For sure.
All because of that, dude.
yeah.
That thing right there, man.
So I think
Put me
that's
up,
an
man.
Interesting marketing perspective.
Got that? Yeah, appreciate that.
So how you came up? Oh my bad. I didn't mean it.
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
How you came up with
look
the
on the top of
name?
that
What,
fridge.
you got a certain
Oh, yeah.
meaning behind it, or?
Yeah, that's fun. That's a
That's a
funny
good question.
story. So the whole like purpose of the brand is paying homage to black producers of spirits, right?
Okay.
So it's being respectful. So the first name I had for it was Reverence. Like we paying reverence to the ancestors and shit.
Okay.
I couldn't get the trademark because there's a brewery in Colorado that owns a trademark. So I was like, I'm not trying to pay a premium for some shit. I just got to find another name. Then I was like, fuck, I can't really find the name that's the essence of what I'm trying to build and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was just sitting on it. And honestly, I just had put it out of my mind, like wasn't really thinking about it. I was like, let me go work on some other shit. Like, let me get the colors straight and, you know, something to just distract me. And I was watching some, I don't know, probably some bullshit show, Jamie Foxx show, Martin, somewhere you watching it, but you're not really watching it. Like, you think about other shit. You know what I mean?
Well, we can't take a shot on camera,
I started, like, Googling buku shit, like on fucking, what they call that shit? Thesaurus.com. Just like different words. Like, just doing the whole word hole. And I came across this word. I'm like, I never heard that word before. And the actual definition is a portion of a main country that's physically separated from the main part and surrounded by foreign territory. So keep in mind, I'm talking about the story and history of black people across the world. This shit is the exact story of black people across the world. And nobody really know the word. Like, when you see it, you're like, I never seen that before. You know what I mean? Like, I know what an enclave is, or I know what something else is, but I don't know what that is. And, you know, as somebody that studied marketing and business, y'all know, if some shit is clearly identifiable, you always gonna remember that shit. You know what I mean? Like, the Nike logo looks like nothing else, and you know exactly what it is. You cannot confuse that. So I'm like, fuck it, boom. That's how I settled on the name for it. And also, too, from like a nerdy design perspective, this shit is balanced. You know what I mean?
Like the word.
Like the word is balanced. Like, it's bookended. It looks strong. There's not a lot of like waviness to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn, that is a fact.
A lot of straight lines.
Yeah.
Damn.
You did all that.
All that.
That's some real ass shit.
That's some. Man, you spoke a lot. Like, one thing I like that you just said, like, you went through the SARS and was in a wormhole.
Yeah.
That's how nigga came up with Equipose.
I know. I wanted to say that. Yeah,
Who?
you got it off before me. Equipose.
We got
What's
an
that?
investment group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Equipose. And Equipose is the joining of forces for one cause, basically, right? And like, I think it came up with that through like a fucking rabbit hole.
Just boom, 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 boom.
I
Yeah.
spent like an hour just looking up words, like, in definitions and shit like that.
Yeah,
Sure.
cause we had some shitty names before.
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga heard Equipose. Nigga like, what that mean? That bitch sounds sophisticated. Equipose.
What y'all investing in? I'm curious.
Uh,
man, look, I'm interviewing y'all, man. See, that's why I need my own podcast.
So we
It's all right. It's me. It's me and the other two partners, right?
Uh-huh.
So our main idea is to build our own community, a self-sustainable community. You know, hospital,
All of
a
that.
school,
Yep.
a grocery store.
All of that.
What's the fourth
the
one?
4 pillars: a hospital, a school, a grocery store, and a fucking hospital, school, grocery store. I can't remember. There's 4 pillars of a community.
It is. It's probably
bank.
police. A bank. I was about to say police.
I think it's a bank.
Yeah, it's definitely a bank because
Well,
that's
if
where
the
the money
community
comes
is
from.
run properly, you don't need police.
What'd you say? I know. That's
Community
what I'm
is run
saying.
properly, you don't need
I was
police.
about to say police like a coon ass nigga.
He like 12 Donald Trump.
But nah, yeah. So that's our overall goal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So the
what's up.
investments spreads throughout. You know what I'm saying? It's with anything. Fuck. Exclave got some stock one day. We're gonna buy the stock as an
Right.
investment group. You feel what I'm
Right.
trying to say? Tax liens, anything, son. Anything we could think of that we feel like could make a profit, but also help us
100%.
create a real community.
Oh, man, you can tell them like how we building capital through like stocks and like crypto, like options, calls, puts, like using that to generate capital to be able to do what Austin talk about. Like, that's the real estate mastermind. Like using this capital that we developed from stocks
For sure.
to be able to put that towards like that seed of the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that shit got to start somewhere. And really using group economics, like putting all our money together and acting as one to be able to build something that's fucking bigger than
Facts.
bigger than anything. Like,
You gotta cook it like roast. Like, you gotta slow cook that shit.
shit.
When niggas slow cook they money or slow cook shit and they all come together, that shit feed families, feed villages, it create villages.
For sure. I'm not asking for a seat at nobody's table. I'm gonna build my own table.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm with y'all. 100%.
Facts.
Man, so where you see this going? Like, you think you're gonna increase your product line? Like, you think you're gonna include like
so the core of Exclave is the Essential series line, right? So this is our second release. This is a bourbon, and we released the rye in January. We released an American whiskey likely in 2022. And keep in mind, I'm talking about black people, I'm talking about community. Like, I care about this shit. And so if I care about this shit, then the products that we put out, they have to align to aspects of our community that are rarely spoken about. You know what I mean? Not some low-hanging bullshit.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're saying.
And so as I'm thinking about the company and what I represented, you know, what my family represented, shit like that, we settle on authenticity, freedom, and self-determination, right? So we released the rye, and the rye corresponds to this concept of authenticity because I'm introducing whiskey to people that only drink whiskey by brand name, for the most part, right? And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that because it's consistency in brands. But because, like, in our community, it's not, we don't just, you know, say wholesale, like, I'm a bourbon person, so I'm trying every single bourbon they got. You know what I mean? Like, I drink Jack Daniels.
Maker's Mark is a bourbon?
Yeah,
that shit
exactly.
hard.
Exactly, right? I fuck with Maker's Mark for sure. But because I'm speaking to folks that look at brand names, the point is, yo, be authentically who you are. Don't just consume the shit that's sold to you or marketed to you. Have your opinion of what you like from a flavor, you know, perspective, and go out and seek that and be authentically who you are. Mm-hmm. So I like rye, so it was poetic in a lot of respects for that to represent authenticity. Bourbon represents this concept of freedom. When you think about, like, most bourbon brands, it's always like on some Western cowboy shit, like Frontier, like all of that bullshit.
Real shit, though. I really think about Western cowboy shit. Yeah. Niggas getting drunk and
exactly.
shooting niggas.
Yeah, in a saloon shooting guns and shit like that.
Django's.
Right. Or some Django shit.
Or some Django shit, yeah. Fact. That's what I think about when I think about old whiskey. A nigga on there standing on the barrel with some fucking long boots.
And it's funny you said Django because it's tied directly into why we chose freedom, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. If that's the standard, what happens if you black during that time? What do you look like? What are you doing? How are you moving?
Yeah.
And I found out that 25% of all cowboys were formerly enslaved men that were searching for freedom. They wanted a gun, a horse, and to be out in the open with nobody can't tell them shit. I'm like, yo, that's interesting. Why we don't know that story? Why we not telling that story?
That's why they're literally called cowboys because they were black men.
Man, who said that? Oh man, somebody tweeted it. I think Freddie Gibbs tweeted that shit. The boys like, ain't no way they could have been white because they would have been cowmen or some shit like that.
Damn, I never knew that dude.
And then,
shout out to the real cowboys. Then,
for real,
man.
like, and
not the team though.
Yeah, fuck them.
Of course not the
fuck
team. Niggas a Saints fan, man.
But my grandpa had bought me this cowboy book, and like when I was a kid or some shit like that, because I always like Western movies, because he like fucking Western movies and shit like that. And in the book, I remember seeing pictures of black cowboys. And I'm like, man, this is fucking weird. And then just like I said earlier, right, like file that shit away and not know when you're gonna need it as you progress in life. And as I'm researching Western cowboy, I remember these black cowboys. So I started researching black cowboys and realized how many of them they were and why they did it. Yo, that's dope. And then I started thinking about the city. I started thinking about other black cities, car culture, bike culture. All of that shit is synonymous with young black men, right? Like, you saw me, I'm driving a Z28 right now, for sure. Every black community across the country is like that.
What's the Z28?
A Camaro.
It's an older Camaro. Like, that's like
Damn.
02. Yeah.
You real car head. I ain't a car head. I just had to know though.
For sure. Yeah.
So
fly. And like that's the car. Like for sure I'm gonna try and buy a Ferrari, but I'm more impressed with a super clean Camaro than I am a Ferrari.
That mean you know your shit.
Exactly. Right. And so I'm like, damn, that's kind of like, a modern day horse on some shit, because ain't nobody driving your car. You drive your car. Just like a nigga, if you had a horse, a nigga ain't just riding your fucking horse. Like this is for me. This is how I get around. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, that's a direct tie, for sure. And that's why the bourbon represents freedom, because what it means to be black and free, it don't look like no Western shit. It look like now. Like, we black and free now. We moving towards that shit.
Nah.
You know what I mean? We're not looking back in the past.
That's why shit getting crazy out
Right.
here. Niggas
sure.
trying to realize their power.
Real shit.
That's why shit getting crazy. Them niggas getting spooked, fool.
Yeah.
That's why they trying to shake shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a crazy time, though. Like, my partner was telling me about that, what's that day that say the black people got the superpowers?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking
I remember
about?
that shit.
You
I
know what
remember
I'm
that shit
talking
on Twitter.
about?
Yeah.
But my partner was like, nah, bro, they not really thinking about how it is. He like, this is like the new millennium of the black. This like the woken age of the black people.
Real shit. Like,
That's what he was telling me. He was like, man, it's not what you think niggas getting superpowers. Like, it's
No.
just a woke age. It's
Yeah.
a woke age. Like, it's about to be, you know, another black millennium coming or something like that. I'm like, damn, bro, you made me look at it a whole different way.
Y'all asked me before we started recording. You was like, you know, we jokes. That's cool. I'm like, I own my company. Can't nobody tell me shit. You know what I mean?
It's energy.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
freedom.
energy.
You know what I mean?
That's freedom for real.
You think we living in like a black renaissance? Because like everything I'm hearing you saying about like whiskey, bourbon, just spirits in general. Like
Yeah.
I think I've never fucking heard of a black like what's the shit with Jack Daniels? The
Distillery.
the black man that talked.
Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest.
Yeah,
Right? Like this
yeah.
is just coming to light.
Oh,
like,
yeah, for
Before that,
sure.
like I've never heard of a black fucking
Yeah.
spirit brand.
Yeah.
Like, so like, what you think is causing that? Like, this for all y'all. Like, what y'all think causing this era of black
Causing
awakening?
that awakening?
Yeah, you think it's
Man,
just technology or
it's
it's
the
just
internet, man. You know, you gotta. It's like a balance. You
Information
hate it
access.
and you love it. It's just that it's no barrier because there's so much truth that comes. So much shit that they try to keep, you know, underworld or under wraps. You know what I'm trying to say? But so much information, so many computers, it
Bro,
gotta come out.
We got
It
the
gotta
answer.
come out.
We got like all human answers like in our pocket. Like,
Oh, that's.
You got Google at your
All the
hands,
time,
bro.
I fuss about that shit all
Niggas
day.
ain't
Don't
know-
ask me nothing if Google is fucking in your hand. Like,
Right.
don't ask me what something is. Don't ask me how do you spell something. Don't ask me what does something mean. If I tell you it's not gonna mean nothing to you because I told you, like, go find it. That's like your old people telling you go pick up a fucking book. Like, if I give you the answer, it means that when you find the answer, you're gonna remember it.
It's like the shit with the fish.
Teach a
Yeah,
man how to
teach a
fish.
man to
Yeah.
fish, yep.
I was like, what you talking about, Nemo? Like,
I swear, I was like, this nigga way out the loop. But nah, though, facts though. That's why I guess what I'm saying. That's why nigga think it's like numerous. It's so easy to get information. Like so much shit nigga would have never imagined even knowing that it's true. You know what I'm saying? That we didn't even believe it was to ever be true, and that's just is what it is now.
and we also too though. We like the generation that man we ain't
That
really,
grew up with that.
No, we not really taking no shit about nothing. You know what I mean?
Especially our women, though. I think women really leading the way for that shit. Not to sound like a real feminist about that shit.
That's
Nah, they are the leaders,
we've been
bro.
saying black women have been shifting black culture and been shifting the world since forever, bro.
man.
Like,
That's
100%,
the
bro.
that's leaders. Women be just leaders in general.
Look at the shit
I'm
Issa Rae doing. Like
Facts.
all of that shit, bro.
Nah,
She
facts.
really dictating like how new movies look from a color and a texture palette, from a soundtrack. And that's all shit that she started from YouTube. Like that's powerful black women, you know what I mean?
Power to the bitches. Shout out to the hoes, man. I love y'all, man. I love y'all.
Nigga funny
So
dog.
y'all act like y'all don't love them hoes, man.
Nigga said power to the bitches. You can't be doing that,
nigga,
man.
leave him out to dry this episode. You gotta die on
You a
that
free,
hill.
you a free black man. Do your thing.
Yeah,
bro.
You go down on that hill by yourself.
There you go.
today.
There you go.
I can't damage my image, man. I'm a
Facts.
good
Then
guy
the
over here.
camera in front of us, he knew exactly who said it. But we gonna get back on.
Mom,
You
I miss
like you like Quentin Tarantino?
For sure, I do.
I ain't gonna lie, I could tell by like how you explain it, like that you like westerns, that you like Tarantino. Like I think Tarantino, like I told you, I was watching a documentary on Tarantino the other day, and like his perspective, I could see a lot in this about like just what shit means and about like everything is deeper than what it is.
You watch the Joe Rogan interview?
Nah, I was watching Tarantino poetry between the lines, like
Oh, all right. This is a whole documentary.
What that's on Netflix or something?
YouTube.
Oh, I'm
I've been a
peep
rabbit
that.
hole.
in a rabbit hole?
You know what's the fire part about westerns too? Like if you think about it from like and y'all can tell like I'm a super nerd about shit. But like from movies, if that shit is in like set in the Western time, you literally they're not interacting with nothing but people. So the story got to be strong enough that you're not distracted by a bunch of bitches on the screen or like brightness or like good soundtracks and shit. It's like you in a conflict with another person, so that mean the story got to be captivating. And you got to think, if we selling shit, the story is what catches people. It's not the whole, the extra sexy shit, what it physically looks like, does it resonate with people,
That's valuable. That's something I deal with like every day, just like with marketing, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody get caught up in fucking the glitz and the glamour of shit. Like, but like the glitz and the glamour is not what gets you there. That shit is like sprinkles. Like
For sure.
you gotta have backbones and substance to what you put out in order to latch people. Like people care more about a story. Like people, like I use this example a lot, like BMF and like Big Meech and shit like that. Like people like Big Meech for like the cars and shit like that. But that's not why people like Big Meech. You get what I'm saying? Like people like Big Meech for the story that he had, like where he came from when he did Pablo Escobar. Like you see it a lot.
Some larger than life shit.
Yeah, like the larger than life shit is like that's low hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like shit gotta always be way deeper than that to have
For sure.
to
For it to
have
stick.
longevity in anything. Like your shit gotta have substance. Like I feel like that's a message that's being missed a lot. Like when the social media age and like how everything just moves so fast. Like social media, like rappers, like just influencers, like shit don't have substance. So that's why shit don't stick around.
That's true.
I mean, it's a quick age now. I mean, it's a fast age. Like
Songs
you're not gonna
are short.
find too much substance in something that's fast. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, 'cause
substance is like built
So it's
over
like a
time.
microwave, man.
Like I'm saying, it's substance
We eating
built
Hot
over time.
Pockets or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like fucking songs used to be 12 minutes. You can't find a song longer than 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You know?
Yeah,
what I
not no
mean?
more. You ain't gonna find
Shit,
too
a
much.
minute and a half, boy. Nobody even do second verses no more.
Right, exactly.
Right.
2 hooks in a verse.
And then sometimes they let the beat run.
Yeah. You gotta let that bitch breathe, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
That nigga ESTG hard.
Can't
though.
be reading?
I just had to say that.
You say ESTG hard?
Yeah.
Who you listen to?
I've
Like,
been
what you-
bumping
who
No
music you listen
Friends.
to?
Man, you know
Every
who
day I wake up in the morning.
Wait, who you
42
doing?
He
Doug
said,
got
he
the
said
best verse.
ESTG,
Nah.
no friends.
Listen to ESTG new
bump that
album.
Yeah.
Go to No Friends by Yo Gotti. 42 Doug.
Man, what the other shit that Hot
I'm a
Boy
Yo
shit
Gotti
that-
fan.
that he did?
5500.
That shit hard. I fuck with that shit.
He don't fuck with it.
Who?
You?
It's cool. It's,
Man, Baby verse hard as a motherfucker.
I don't think Baby got the hardest verse on there, bro.
Who you think got the
Who
hardest
I
verse?
think I said I like 42 Doug verse.
I might be rocking with you.
I think 42 Doug, like, he said I said 42 Doug was trash. I probably did, but I think
You
42
did say that. You definitely did say that.
Yeah, like who you listen to on a daily, like.
For sure. Payroll Giovanni out of Detroit.
I would expect that.
Payroll be talking that
He
shit.
been trying to put me on payroll.
I've been trying to put this man on payroll. Payroll got some
He be
smooth
talking
shit,
that
dog.
shit, dog. All them, I fuck with all them Detroit niggas. V's, all them shit. All that shit,
too
dog.
crazy, bro. That 6 up, that shit hard.
Yeah.
I just fuck with 42 and
Out Detroit.
42 and payroll.
You fuck with Sada Baby?
Nah, I'm not
Sada be on some other shit.
This shit too goofy for me. Like,
Sada be on some other shit.
like that's me. Like listening to Sada Baby to me, that's like listening to BFB Pac-Man. Like he's
Yeah.
doing some like real silly shit. Like,
You like a character almost on some
yeah,
shit.
like that shit funny.
The
though. It's
goofy shit work
entertaining.
with. It depends on who it work with.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
Larry
listen to
June
that
got goofy shit on the low.
Yee-hee. That shit.
You know, you really
saying,
do.
like, random shit.
That's another dude who's in the constant rotation. Spitter, obviously.
I can tell you a Larry June nigga.
Yeah, I can tell too.
I can
That's
tell
why
by
I'm
the
about to go.
glasses.
It's the earring for me, bro.
The glasses to watch.
I had some green juice earlier.
He had some green juice earlier.
Good job,
That was
Andrew.
decent. That boy remind me of Jabari.
Yeah, facts. You do all the green juice and shit too.
Man, you gotta health is wealth, man.
Facts.
Who else I be listening to, man? I be listening to a lot of old shit, obviously from Exclave. We played none but old shit.
You be listening to like Gap Band.
All of that shit.
Man, I fucked around and like one day I was like, I'm fucking with the old shit today. I put on some Gap Band.
That nigga Charlie Wilson be singing his ass off.
Where's some
bro.
shit like bombs on their head or some shit like that? Something with bombs or something.
Yeah.
I put that shit on. Huh,
You
what
dropped
it
the
is?
bomb on me.
Drop the bomb. Bro, I'm listening to that shit. My mind is blown. And
Who it is?
Gap Band. You
Gap
dropped the
Band.
bomb on
Charlie
me.
Wilson?
That song like 8 minutes.
Yeah, that shit hard.
I'm in the car. I'm blown away. Like I'm driving. I'm like, this shit is amazing. Like,
Yeah. For
I listen, man. Every day before work last year, I used to listen to Celebration.
for real.
Is it Celebration?
What's up? Outstanding.
Outstanding.
Yeah. You know the
Outstanding.
fire part about the Gap Band? I'm gonna fuck y'all head up. Y'all know what's that group? Kurt Cobain, Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
The drums from that.
I saw the interview.
That shit is so fire, dog.
They got the drums
Yeah.
from Gap Band, bro.
Yeah.
That's when niggas used to make music.
Niggas had
on
a set.
instruments.
Nigga had a whole set on that bitch, yeah.
Niggas in niggas there on the drums, niggas there on the guitar, nigga all making the beat off of that, like real live music, fool.
My daddy be blowing it. Like, I be trying to put this nigga on young shit, because you only as old as your mindset. So I be trying to put this nigga on young music. He be like, that's not fucking music. Nobody else in the studio playing this shit. I'm like, why the fuck would I play a drum set if I got every instrument on this fucking computer, like why would I come in here and set up a drum set if I got a fucking pad that give me more than a drum set could do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I got 500 sounds in this bitch.
bitch, I could imitate your voice from this pad. Why would I get a drum set? Like, tell me.
You know what's a good old song I heard? My uncle put me on this, man. It's by Funkadelic. It's called Maggot Brain.
Oh, that guitar solo is fire, bro.
This the old nigga right here.
This is music.
Yeah, that's one of the best guitar solos ever, bro.
Listen, this is music. It's not even saying no words, but you feel everything it's saying. It's trying to tell you everything through the music.
You be getting loaded, huh?
Yeah.
I can tell.
I smoke a little bud though. At the night, I'm really more of a nighttime bud smoker. Yeah.
But see that, and that's the thing, right? Like that song, most people might not even know the song, but that's easily like top 10 greatest guitar solos anybody ever played. You know what I mean?
My uncle just put me on the George Clinton nigga.
That's
He said George Clinton.
artist.
I know the name, but I didn't know the face. Like I didn't know the whole
You don't know
history.
George
behind it.
Clinton? He was in Good Burger, bro.
I just told you I don't know him.
No, George Clinton really was in Good Burger.
boy-
In the mental hospital scene with the nigga with the shit in his head, with the dreads with the shit in his head.
A black dude.
He performed the song.
That boy was a house party too, man.
Yeah, that's George Clinton, bro.
Yeah,
know
that's the
that boy was
baddest.
a house
That's the
party
baddest.
too, huh?
That's the baddest nigga on the planet.
George
The whole
Clinton.
man, the whole
I think I like one of the most sampled music of all
bro, the
time.
whole G-Funk era, Dr. Dre, all of that shit.
All
That's
George
all
Clinton.
his. That's all his shit.
Yeah, he got the
whole
most
West Coast
sampled
sound.
music of all time. Like,
Who was I listening to? I think I sent that shit to you. I was listening to somebody old, and they got the Tupac there where the Tupac sample came from. And I'm just playing it, this guy, listening to that shit came out. I'm like, this is fucking Tupac. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, this is where this shit come from. Like, my mind was really blown. Like, that's why I was like,
Yep.
you gotta go do your history and go back and listen to old music, bro.
man, that shit speak to you. Go listen to that song. If you're a young nigga, you never listen to that shit, let's go sit in your car, probably smoke your little beezy or something. You really could be loaded. It's gonna be the best for you loaded. Like, it's gonna be the best for you loaded.
My pops used to fuck with me on that shit. I think that's why I'm so into that music. Like he'll like be playing some shit. Like $5, you tell me who that is. So I'm like, shit, nigga, if I'm getting paid, I'm paying attention and trying to pick up on shit. And like just, just fucking around. And like I'll play some shit, cause he also, it's funny, you mentioned your pops not listening to the new shit. Though my pops, I don't know, that nigga, what, 56, 57? My brother be putting him on Herbo, all them niggas, man. And he be listening to that shit, though. He be rapping it, and I'm like, wait, how you even know that? And he stay listening to new shit.
Your pop's young. He got a young mindset. Like, he's constantly abreast of what's going on. If you listening to this, I be trying to put you on. I put this thing on like Brent Fire. It's like, who don't like Brent?
Come on, man.
They
Brent
like
that
real
nigga, man.
music.
Oh, man.
I always tell my dad that Brent better than Joe. He be like, Brent, Joe. I mean, Brent ain't messing with no Joe. I be like, man, this nigga better than Joe. You listen to this nigga better than
Yeah,
Joe.
of course, man.
Brent, only R&B singer, like male R&B singer, I say Brent. I think Brent better than Jaheim, but Brent not fucking with fucking Kim, bro.
He better than Kim. Joe better than Kim. What we talking about? Joe better than
Joe
Kim.
not better than Kim.
Joe better than Kim.
We did a poll. Joe not better than Kim.
Joe better than Kim.
Who you think?
Crazy.
I
Joe
think
Kim.
I got Joe, dog.
You got exactly.
I think
I'm not the biggest R&B nigga. I can't assist you right now.
I got Joe.
Joe better
Joe
than
or
Kim
Kim?
by far.
Joe?
Yeah.
Who your mama would listen to?
Kim.
Who your mama would pick?
Kim.
That's what it is.
Bro, Kim?
Tell him, dog.
You tripping. Joe got one of the greatest.
If you're watching this, make sure you tune in on that. Know
Joe
what I'm
has
saying?
one
Go
of
bump
the
some real
greatest-
music.
Man, send me that poll. I'm gonna participate.
We're
Now.
gonna put the
remake
poll
it.
out.
Remake it
We're gonna
another
put the
shit.
poll out. We're gonna put this poll out. If you listening, who
Niggas
better,
only know that
Joe or
one
Kim?
song by Kim.
What?
But listen. Love
Love
Calls.
Calls? No,
That's the only
Kim
thing
got
niggas know.
fucking
Y'all don't be
15
bumping no
songs.
Kim like that, man.
What song?
Nigga said Kim got 4 songs.
I'm about to pull up Joe. This
Joe got a
guy.
whole classic album, man. I remember
Joe?
that. It was crazy. I remember that album. I remember that shit. My Daddy Explorer, bro.
Yeah.
He was playing that shit all the time.
That's why you
son.
remember that shit.
Yeah, it's amazing. Joe, amazing, man. And he got one of the greatest show intros of all time. Power. You know that's Joe singing on that Power
Yeah, no,
intro.
That's true.
I've never seen Power.
Never?
Never.
That's cool shit right
no,
there.
listen.
That's cool. That nigga never seen Power.
Genuinely, I really do not watch
The
TV.
first ever Power though.
I've
You gotta
never
watch
seen
it.
Power, bro.
You gotta watch
genuinely-
it.
You don't
know
watch
I
TV?
don't watch TV. I don't watch TV.
So what you like? You just
Like, I think-
documentaries and shit.
Wasn't you watching Manifest?
yeah,
This
but
nigga watch Manifest and not Power.
Hold up,
listen, I
no
binge
manifest.
Manifest.
That's very-
no manifest slang.
That's very telling of
that
his
shit is,
game.
I'm getting a calling
That's
right now
that
saying
Netflix
you a bitch ass nigga, but that's just what the calling telling me. But nah, like this is why I don't watch.
You watch Friends?
No.
Fuck Friends.
I like Seinfeld.
You watched the other one, Office. The Office.
Yeah, that's probably one of the
funny as
greatest
shit,
shows
dog.
ever.
You
Man, I
watched
seen that nigga Ryan at the coffee shop
Swear.
in New Orleans, man. That nigga trying to act like, why you looking at me? Shit. I'm like, dog,
You
on
know
the
who you are.
Nigga, you was on the NBC show. I don't want your fucking
You the
autograph,
Ryan from the
nigga.
I Call Kelly, boy. Stop playing with me. But nah, like this one I don't watch TV. Like I like production and shit like that. I watch stuff with like good production value or good storyline. Like people say Power was good, but like I don't like
Power trash.
shows. I don't like shows where like
You gotta watch
I
The
can
Wire,
see
son.
product. We watched The Wire.
You can see
man.
what?
This the official podcast of The Wire.
Yeah, we definitely watched one. You can see what?
Who your favorite character?
The first 4 seasons of Power. We talking about the original Power, not
nah.
Power Book 2.
Nah.
My
talking
favorite
about Power.
character in The Wire, bro. My favorite character in The Wire. I say it's D'Angelo, bro. Like, and this is gonna sound weird.
Oh, I'm hold on.
He's a whole ass.
And that's why he's my favorite character.
He's a whole ass nigga. Charles a whole ass nigga.
Wait, who's yours?
Who's my favorite character?
You gonna say Omar?
No. I like the savagery of Omar though. My favorite character might be Slim. Even
Who's
though he has
yours?
such a small role.
You
You know why?
who your favorite character in The Wire?
Mine either Slim, to be honest.
Who Idris Elba character was?
Stringer.
Might be.
String was a hoe on some shit.
That's why.
That's your favorite character?
No, fuck no. It's either out of Slim or
I'm
Avon.
about to say Bodie too.
Yeah, I
No,
like
Bodie thorough. Yeah,
Bodie.
I fuck with
And I fuck with
Man,
Mike.
you wildin' with D'Angelo.
That's my
D'Angelo's
type of
a
shit.
hoe,
That's why
dog.
D'Angelo
No, this
such a-
no. This why D'Angelo.
Explain
my
that shit
favorite
to me,
character.
dog.
Just I think D'Angelo represented something like a perspective that's not documented in the.
A whole ass nigga in the hood.
No, not a whole ass nigga.
A nigga
Listen, from the beginning, he made it clear that this is not what he fucking with. You get what I'm saying?
No, he's still.
But no, listen,
he's
this is his
indulged in it.
circumstance. This is his circumstance. I'm not gonna defend the whole ass shit he did. He for sure did some whole ass shit. But I'm saying, like, if you look at his circumstance, he
You know what I'ma tell you
never
why, yo?
wanted that life.
You know why I'm
get
gonna tell
what
you why?
saying?
Ho? I'm gonna tell you why. Cause you're right. He didn't want that.
And I like that perspective that's not really documented. Like, this is the life he was born into, right?
that's true.
He never wanted this life. He had no way to get out of it.
He
And I
had a
think
way
if
to
you
get
really
out of
look
it.
at
No, you
D'Angelo,
know how
it's an
he
interesting
did?
perspective.
Avon asked that boy, man, what you want to do?
Facts.
So you could, if you,
But do you think that's a genuine, what do you want to do?
Yes,
sure.
that's his nephew.
for sure, that's family.
I don't think that's a genuine. Appreciate that. All right, I don't think that's a genuine. What do you want to do?
I think it was.
The reason I don't think it's a genuine. What do you want to do? Because if you see Avon actions throughout the series, as long as D'Angelo was there, his energy to D'Angelo was only to the extent of what Avon can get from D'Angelo. Right? He wanted D'Angelo to play his role and nothing more, bro.
I don't think so. He was trying to.
I think he cared for
He was
him.
trying to put D in better situations. But think of it like real life. How many people you know doing other things, but that have people close to them they got t-shirt shop, they got the print shop, they got the car wash, they got the shop, right? You think them people is not a part of that shit? They a part of it, but I'm not getting dirty with it. You know what I mean?
But though I think the difference between those people and D'Angelo is this is literally all D'Angelo know. Like in the scene when D'Angelo was breaking down about like his motives and stuff like that, he was like, "Do you know who my grandfather is?" Right? I think like.
I see what you're saying, like the reputation and like it was heavy.
D'Angelo sound like a nigga
No,
who
he a
can't
bitch.
think for himself.
Listen, he's a bitch nigga. He's a bitch nigga for sure. But I think
He was living with legacy. Like legacy
I think
is heavy. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think the perspective of he never had the choice. You get what I'm saying? The choice was always made for him. Even his mama, like when going to jail, his mama said you need to man up and stand on the family legacy. Like he never had the choice to be D'Angelo. He always had to be his last name, not his first.
Great story, but he can never be a nigga favorite character.
Bro.
I think that's my favorite character because of perspective.
But
Like,
when
I
you
just like the
but when you
storyline.
want your kids to hold up your legacy?
Yes and no. I want them to hold up. I want my kids to build their own legacy, bro. Like I want to
Separate from yours.
Nah, like it don't have to be like. I think if I create a legacy, like if my child goes and be great at something else,
For sure.
that's still my legacy because I
got
breeded
you.
that. You get what I'm saying?
got you.
Like I don't want my
That's
child
true.
to. I don't want my child to be a marketer. I want my child to be what he wants to be and be great at that because that's still an extension of my legacy.
Man,
All
my,
right,
son, my
Bo.
son's selling whiskey. Fuck that.
I'm about to say,
Nigga, we selling whiskey. You heard
I'm
me?
about to say, that's it. In this instant, if what you did feeds the family, and that nigga is the next man up, he gotta do that.
But that's why the perspective, because he never wanted to, right? D'Angelo a good nigga at heart. He the type of nigga, he just want to work a 9 to 5, cool. he had his little baby mama situation, like provide for his kids. Like he wanted them niggas. He's a simple type nigga, but he's next up in the fucking drug empire, right? So you never had the choice to be a regular nigga. You've always had to be next up in a drug empire.
You still should watch Power.
They got other
The
communities.
first
where
4
that's like
seasons of
expectation.
Power, you still should watch the first 4 seasons.
I probably watch Power.
First
bro.
2, you don't think go to 4?
No, I don't know.
Lobo's in 4 still. Lobo's story, cool.
You watch Power?
It's been a while since I seen it. I ain't rewatched.
Ain't 50 Cent died 4 times in Power?
And
That's why I never
Kanan
watched that
and all
shit.
that. No, he didn't die.
You know you can't die, man.
And Kanan,
Didn't
all
this
that,
nigga
he
get
put on
burned
season
alive,
4.
then come back perfectly normal?
That's when it started getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he walked out the burning building, I'm
Yeah.
like, all right,
But they definitely had like probably like their first 3 to 4 seasons, probably one of the best in TV history I watched. And I watched The Sopranos. I want to watch every good TV show.
You think Power the best TV show ever created?
No, I say like the first 3 seasons is one of, as far as like the HBO shows and
What's the best TV show ever created?
best TV show ever created?
Snowfall. And I'm joking. Snowfall.
Snowfall hard, dog.
That's a great answer.
It's the best TV show
That's a great
ever
answer.
created. It's probably Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, man.
Between the... Wait, who?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I like that answer.
I'm being honest with you, bro. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Martin.
I like these answers.
Martin up there.
Martin up there, Fresh Prince up there too. No, I'm not the...
I'm being honest. This shit I'm saying. That's the shit that I seen that I put that shit on any time. No matter
What's the greatest TV show of all time? Off the top.
This is Streetwear Legend too.
Don't think about it.
That's a
Just
great
off
question.
the top.
Come on, I told you, son.
I don't think Martin
Yeah.
ever.
What about Fresh Prince in your top 5, right? Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Best TV. What you think? You said Martin.
I said Martin or Fresh Prince. Being honest.
Martin up there, though, 'cause
Martin Halloween episode was amazing.
What's the episode when he did when he
With
reenacted
the
fucking-
dog?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
They had I like Martin because he had a lot of real moments when niggas broke character. Like niggas had to turn around and really
Niggas really
laugh.
joke
like,
the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best TV show of all time?
The Wire, bro.
You said The Wire?
Yes, 100%.
I got it up there.
That's up there.
100%.
What you say?
I'm going Snowfall. Fuck all
Snowfall
that.
up there.
I fuck with Fresh Prince.
I think
though.
you know why I can't say Snowfall is up there.
That's probably a sitcom, but
What?
go ahead though.
I can't say Snowfall because Snowfall is too new. Like I think the best TV shows stand the test of time. Like you got to give it to Fresh Prince. That shit 30 years old, and I still will watch every episode.
You don't think Snowfall still gonna be nice to
Yeah,
us
I'm just
20
saying
years from now?
it's still too new to call it. That's like
Man,
calling
fuck
it a new
that,
album.
man.
I think
I mean, Game of Thrones was, but then that shit
couldn't
ended.
finish it.
That
I
shit
couldn't
ended so trash, and people forgot about it.
I never seen it.
You watch Game of Thrones?
I watch everything, bro. Bro, I was mad. Man, I'm like, you wasting my fucking time.
Ain't they have a Starbucks cup?
They got they got a whole whiskey
everything,
thing, a whiskey
got
bottle,
everything.
like a whiskey design.
That show had a whole lot of Easter eggs.
Who?
Game of Thrones.
I don't know. I probably if I had to say any show, I'd say Martin just off like the
fuck with
strength of
I watched Martin probably more than anything else.
the Biggie episode. I was tweaking like when
When Pam
You was
stupid ass
tweaking?
walked in.
yeah, not tweaking because I wasn't alive, but like when I seen
I know.
Biggie
I was just
episode-
trying to see where you was going with that.
Yeah, nah, I'm a big Biggie fan. Like, I'm a big Biggie fan. So
Nah,
like,
nah,
when I
man,
first seen the first Biggie episode, I'm like, man, this nigga was on TV. Like,
Right.
Martin the Legend. I don't know what my favorite TV show of all time is. Fuck TV. I don't know.
This nigga
I got a documentary for you. It's called A Century of the Self.
The Century of the Self.
Yeah.
of the South.
Self.
The South? Oh, damn, that's a philosophy one.
Kinda. It's like it's talking about the history of public relations and how we buy shit and all that shit comes from like a single person. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but that shit fire.
Damn, that bitch sound amazing.
Man, we gotta go to a film festival. You ever been to a film festival?
I actually haven't. I'm trying to go to one because I could sit and just watch shit all day.
Hey, let's go to a film festival. We'll hand out some Exclave, man.
Oh man,
Man,
we can start one.
Real shit.
I'm sure niggas watching this make films.
Man, I told us I got a fight. I just need a script. I've been working on it. I've been having an idea for this short film based off a James Baldwin book for years.
Which book?
Fight Next Time. That's
That's
my
the
favorite
shit.
book ever.
That's the shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I told you I ran.
You told me
this-
that, yeah.
Like, I
That
really
bitch hitting
wanted
harder
this-
now because the Exclave. Like, shit really create,
Yeah,
great
the
moments.
premise behind that shit is fire. Like I'm
Fire
giving
stuff.
game. Like I'm giving game to my nephew. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you how shit is. You know what I mean? That passing of information, that shit's powerful.
That's really what culture is built on, bro. Like
Real shit.
the telling of stories,
Real shit.
folklore and shit.
Niggas need to start speaking to their grandmas more.
Bro, rest in peace, my great grandma, bro. I used to always go sit on her porch and listen to her tell stories.
Yeah.
Like, bro, 10 cents used to get niggas a lot back.
My dad like 10 cents used to give him a lot. So imagine your grandma, your great grandma.
My great grandma was born in 1934, bro. When she was a kid, 10 cent, like they go to the store with 10 cent, they getting a loaf of bread, Coke, they getting buku shit. Yeah, chips.
Right,
You know
all
what
that.
I'm saying? Like, off 10 cent. How you get a loaf of bread? And other
Nigga ain't
shit
even
for
know
10
they
cent?
had chips back in the day.
Yeah, it wasn't like Lay's and shit, but it is.
I know, bro. I'm Joseph.
Random ass fucking Auntie brand of chips, like some local shit, like they used to really get a lot.
Right.
Like, or I like be talking to my people about like my grandma, my great grandma Farriskin, like her grandparents came from France, like, so I used to be talking about like race and shit like that.
Right.
Because my great.
So you Esau.
Yeah. So my great grandfather was like an
That's a
Exclave,
bad thing.
shit like that. Like, so I just be talking about like race, like bro, that shit was wicked back in the day. Like, shit was wicked. You gotta tell. Like, that's why I feel like I'm so like into the black shit. Like, I got it from both sides. Like I really know what that shit was about. Like, I ain't gonna say I know what it's about because I didn't experience it, but like I heard enough stories about like how fucked up it was. Like,
Shit wasn't just cool back then. Yeah.
my grandma never been to a doctor like as a kid.
Damn, son. She
Man,
old as fuck.
My grandma beat your grandma up.
My grandma younger than your grandma though, so I
How
don't
old
know.
your
My
grandma
grandma
is?
been to a couple
That mean-
hospitals,
That mean my grandma hands battle testing, huh?
but she's slow now.
I'm saying.
Your grandma use a walker now, nigga. What you talking
My
about?
grandma don't use a walker. My grandma walk perfectly fine. She'll tell you
She can throw them hands.
Yeah, tell your grandma run up.
Shit, get a hold. She finally gonna go to the hospital that day. She finally gonna see one.
How old your grandma is?
I know that.
My grandma-
Just know
my
your
grandma's-
grandma
my
gonna
grandma like-
finally see a hospital.
My grandma's 78.
Oh, my grandma not in her 70s. She'll walk your grandma.
Yeah, she not. Just 'cause your grandma young, I know your grandma health not good.
Come on, man. Listen, you got
My grandma knock all the blood pressure medicine out your grandma. I'm telling you, my grandma would knock your grandma blood sugar in your
I guess.
I'm just saying, bro.
Tell her she
That's
gonna
all
meet
I'm
that
saying.
doctor that same day.
I'll call my grandma and my grandma curse your grandma out. Come on, bro.
Come on, my grandma burn your grandma with a cigarette.
Come on, that's not cool. Your
on
grandma
that.
still
Y'all
smokes
niggas
cigarettes.
relax. I'm
I was about to
fucking
go
with that.
for your
I'm
grandma.
fucking with that janky shit. I'm
you-
fucking with all that.
Yes, I'm saying your
Grimy
grandma
over
health.
there.
I know your grandma health bad. My grandma really run laps around your grandma. She gonna be wheezing and shit. My grandma exercise. My grandma healthy. I'm telling you. Let's
All
get off
right.
that.
Shout out
son.
to Charles old ass.
shout out to Austin. Shout out to Austin grandma. We gonna see her on the what's the commercials for telling niggas not to smoke with the hole in the throat. We gonna see her on the commercials soon.
See, now you cancel. Now you just got us canceled that quick.
How? Your grandma smokes cigarettes.
We good. We done with it, man.
What she smoke? Cools, menthols. His
Shout
grandma
out to the
smoke
pod,
Camels.
though, man.
His grandma smoke Camels, but let's get off that. That's funny. His grandma.
That's funny.
His grandma smoke Newports.
He shot so many shots, he had to get one last.
Nah, I shot
though.
all them bitches.
I gotta
like
teach-
my grandma gonna shoot your grandma.
Don't make me start
Come
teaching you
on.
the art of how to be funny.
Nah, I'm not LG. Come on, we gonna get off that shit, man.
But now I was about to say, I do got a question for y'all, though. I was having a conversation with my female friends, right? Shout out to Amara and Alana, man. We was talking about how there's a thin line between being pressed and being interested. They say they like when men are interested. They don't like when they press.
What's the difference?
Don't really be on their tip too hard. That's what it sounds like.
I think you an
Let me say
interesting
what-
nigga because you just asked what's the difference. So like, I think the difference between pressed and interesting. Pressed is like I text you what you doing every day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'm forcing conversation as opposed to being interesting. Like you have
Moving the conversation
Yeah, you have a
forward.
unique perspective. So when it comes to conversation,
Yeah.
conversation flows because you have a fucking you're eccentric at it.
Right.
Okay, wait, time
But
out.
that's not always the same through text, though.
Time out, though. But I could be interesting, but what if that female has nothing to offer?
Nah, bitches do be boring.
They got
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But
what
they
the
got nothing
fuck?
to do with press versus interested. The way he was describing the text
I'm saying,
situation
like,
is
there's some
different.
bitches out there I could be as interesting as I want to be, but they still won't have the capacity to be able to hold and flow the conversation.
Yeah.
Like I have
I know,
to
but that's
consistently
still-
give her something so she can respond.
I understand what you're saying. I feel like we're getting off the press interested conversation. Though.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
My
My
bad.
fault. I jumped all over you.
My
Nah,
bad.
y'all
Go
good
ahead,
though.
go ahead.
That's a very great point. But that's with people, period, though.
Go
You
ahead.
feel what I'm trying to say? I don't think it's just with
All right,
women.
go
I'm
more
about
into
to say
depth
bitches.
about that though.
Still say bitches.
Where the bitches at? Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead. Go more into depth about it. My
That's
bad.
that boy
dog.
drop.
Oh yeah, that's what that boy job now. But the press versus versus interest thing is just different. The way they was explaining to me, like for instance, man, Fuck, I'm trying to think of an example this year.
It must not have been that good. Huh?
Nah, it was very good though. Like he was just saying,
hope
the
he wasn't
texting thing. I guess as far as like, you know, a nigga
But
hit
if you
you
can't-
up,
but if you
what you
can't-
doing every day.
But if you can't lead a conversation, then
It's different with the texting though. I don't think everybody could really. It's hard to get off in the text before you really know somebody to really
like
hit it off. in the
illiterate or
text.
something.
Huh?
You should like fucking with illiterate bitches.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Louisiana education, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of at odds. We handicapped a little bit, so they are a little bit slow. But you know,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta think about we humans, so we really, we really build conversation and shit off body I mean, body movement and and shit like that. I'm saying
Chemistry.
Yeah,
and shit
you get to see it more in person. So I'm saying that's why I don't really violate. I ain't trying to go hard on the text because it's kind of hard to text when you never met somebody. You might ask a question and the way they respond, you know what I'm saying. You don't really get that feeling.
that's why you gotta take it out.
Huh?
That's why you gotta take it out.
All right, but fuck,
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, get to it. I feel like you was leading into that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
jumped
forgot
in.
it now though.
Damn, my bad.
You good?
What's the difference between present and interested?
That's what we was talking about.
right.
All right, so what's the difference? I
Nigga,
thought I
you
stated the
explained
difference.
I'm about to say
Damn, I
you
still didn't get to the
explained it.
point.
I don't know shit.
I missed it.
Yeah,
Damn,
you
I'm
can't smoke
loaded.
for the pod no more. Yeah.
That's what it is. I forgot. Damn, but they
Bad
had a
influence.
point.
I'm a
though.
bad influence.
You
my
think
bad.
you think you can back me
Nah,
up?
I'm gonna just change it. So I don't know what the fuck that
I'm
was.
trying to know where you was going.
It, though. I'm trying. Thank you.
But
Appreciate
like,
you.
bro, I got a question for you. For being a philosophy nigga, like we all niggas that read. He reads sometime. I think he borderline illiterate, but but not like what's some shit to read. Like you a philosophy man. I know you read. Like what's some shit to read?
Shit. What am I reading right now? I just started. This funny. I just started Negroes and Guns and Negroes with the Gun. Right now, it's talking about just like black gun ownership and shit like that. But like what you was talking about, James Baldwin, Toni Morrison, like all of the all of the fiction writers from that particular time. Obviously, from a philosophy standpoint, they got. Well, it depends because there's so much philosophy. But like fucking with Aristotle and shit like that, like he got a crazy theory about like friendship and how we got 3 types of friends. And most times when we talking about friendship, it's like you either my friend or you not my friend, and not realizing they got levels to it in terms of how you engage with people, right? Like they got people that's just, in your proximity. Like if you go to school with people, like think about all the people
we
you
talk
have
about that all the time.
That was
dude.
last episode.
Yeah, it was last episode.
share like just proximity. They got the people that you like you've been fucking with from day one. Like think about niggas you grew up with that you've always just been cool with them because y'all have like similar thoughts on everything. And then they got like the real deep friend, like the love, like who you marry, your wife type shit. You know what I mean? Like all of these different relationships they all encompass like friendship and understanding like who those people are in your life and how to slide them is like how you like optimize your life. You know what I mean? And that way you like cutting a lot of dead weight off and shit like that.
Damn, bitch, I gotta read that.
Facts.
I mean, I think I do pretty well though, but I gotta read that though. That's a better insight of it.
What's your top 3 books though? Like if you had to tell niggas, I got it. Oh, if you had to tell somebody, we could do either. If somebody had to read one book, what book would you tell them to read? Because that's probably easy.
Shit, green eggs and ham, my nigga.
Stop.
Yeah, really literary shit.
Go ahead, I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, thank you. Because it would probably be this book called Discipline and Punish by Michel Foucault. This is French philosopher. And it's talking about the history of incarceration and how it's a relatively new phenomenon in terms of like how old humans are. Mm-hmm. And you realize that these institutions that define our lives don't necessarily need to be there. And you start understanding like how they came about and the ways in which you can go about like chipping away at them to like get rid of them.
Damn. You
I'm
gotta
gonna
text
have to
me
read
that.
that.
I forgot the name of it.
Discipline and
Punish.
I got a question for
Said
you.
3 books though. That's
Now
one.
you changed it to one.
I changed it to 1 because that was
Damn.
probably a little easier. But I want another question too. This is a real like high question. Do you think time is real?
Do I think time is real? Yeah, it's real. Yeah.
Why do you think
You really
time is
want?
real?
Oh, all right. Don't look at me. I'll say some real ignorant shit right now.
Because I personally don't like. I know time is relative, right? And I know you can physically prove time, but I don't think time is real.
It's real because of the acceptance of time. So if I say, yo, we need to conversate.
But I think that's to that extent, time is man-made in the
for
sense
sure.
that because it's about us creating a sense of community, right? A sense of like, not community, a sense of common grounds that if we both understand it's 6 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock. So if you got something to do, we're supposed to meet, like you say, we have a meeting at 6, that's what it is. But I don't think time is real, like in a grand scheme of time. Like,
does that make it any less real? Like I'm like, what's something that is real?
I think the function of time is real, but I don't think like the general sense of time. Like I don't think time matters. Like how we die, like the evolution of life. Like I don't think time is real.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I slightly disagree because I think when there's like universal acceptance of something, it doesn't matter if it's like a physical object or something like that. It's because we move in the same way. Like I said, if I say we need to conversate, that's not a real word technically, but you're not confusing that word with this nigga want to go play basketball or something. Like, we need to have a conversation.
But
And
you're
so-
saying, my bad.
No, go ahead.
But you're saying like a universal concept, a universal like thought, right?
Yeah.
This reason why I don't agree with that, because I guess some of that is like propaganda, right? It's like it's a
What
universal.
is?
I guess it's like a universal thought or something. I guess it's like a universal thought would be that.
What's 1 + 1?
That's different, man.
That's not because
That's
it's the same
low-key a good
argument.
point.
Because
It's the same argument.
Like-
It's the same argument. Nigga understand what you're saying. Trust me, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, shit, fuck, I just lost concentration. I'm loaded as motherfucker. I'm good at what we do. I don't know what I'm about to say.
But yeah, I don't think time is real. But I mean that from like a standpoint of like when I'm talking to like my partners, like how long did it take you to start Exclave?
In what sense? Like the first idea into first bottle?
Yeah,
Probably about 5.5 years.
that's the sense. Like I don't think time is real. Like I'll be pressing you with the hatch, right? I think time is real in the sense of like I think you have a window of execution where like your momentum will be at its peak. But I don't think time is real in the sense that like the pressure of time is what you create behind it, right?
Yeah.
Like I could spend like this how I made sense of my age. Like, I used to be fucking terrified to make 25. I make 25 in a couple months. Right. Like time is what you make it. Like you put these ideas on time, right? You feel like I gotta be here at this time, right? Like this is why I stopped fucking like my schedule. I make a schedule, but like I don't really stick to it, like how I'm supposed to, because I feel like
But that's not really time though. That's not really time. That's like your relation to time.
yeah, and that's why I don't feel time is real because I feel like as long as time is a thing, people are gonna put a relation to it, right? But I feel like people should just leave time out of everything, like because
it's gonna pass anyway.
it's going like no matter what you
anyway.
do, no matter what you do, time is gonna pass. So like, why even worry about time? Like I think time is good from a structural standpoint, but like when you looking like 10 years down the line, I don't think time matters. Like I don't.
I agree with that. I'm loaded right now, so I really got nothing to say. But I really agree with that. Though.
I understand what you're saying, but I guess I'm speaking more from like the mathematical perspective. Like
Yeah.
it's 8:45 right now because
Yeah.
of where the sun,
Sun
is
is
positioned.
in relation to the earth.
Yeah. But I see what you're saying in terms of like it's the same way that like yes, technically money is real, but it's not really real.
Real, yeah.
It's just it's a social construct. The same way race is real, but it's not real.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
But
That makes sense.
yeah. What you was about to say? Say your ignorant shit. You was about to say bitches. Bitches is time.
Bitch, be telling time.
Bitches take too much time. That's a real.
can't read an analog
That's a
clock.
real social construct. Bitches take too much time, nigga. That's real structure right
That's the
there.
challenges we face every day, huh?
Real spell, dog. That's some real shit, bro.
Funny guy, though.
But like, we're gonna bring it back to Exclave. How big do you want Exclave to get?
Bigger than all of that shit, man. Bigger than Jack
Crown
Daniels.
Royal.
Bigger than all of that.
As big as you could get. Shit.
Would you think this, like, from a business perspective, right? I think we talk a lot about business on here. We all do business except him.
That boy,
Hey. When it's over,
Bitches
I'm
be
a
in your
beat.
business.
Oh, let me kill that on that.
But nah, like from a business perspective, right?
Shop Exclave, man. Free promotion, nigga. Fuck.
But nah, like from a business perspective, like what's a jewel you would give to like somebody like me that's up and coming in business? What's a jewel you would give them to just about
to
business?
proceed? Just to proceed. You know, just to go about their business.
This is gonna sound like some corny shit, but be authentic, right? Because people understand and respect real shit, and they know some bullshit. Like, yeah, they may buy it, but
Niggas know the real.
exactly. And that's probably a shitty answer too. Let me think about it.
Now, give a business lesson. Like, give an example of a situation that happened that changed the way you do business.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Ooh, that changed the way I do business.
Or that made you think about the way you do business, like just a real.
Honestly,
it sounds like a fucking job interview.
No, that's real. That's real. So I was.
Why do you want this job?
Yeah.
That boy like Jordan.
Where you see
Pippen
yourself
over
in
there.
10 years?
Bitch, working here. The fuck?
I was in the airport, right? And this is early. I got the idea, like, this is the shit I want to do. And I'm seeing, they got this, like, older black couple. Like, they would probably be, like, you know, my pop's older brother age, shit like that. And they they look familiar. I don't know them, but they look familiar. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I go out, I'm like, yo, you mind if I ask you a few questions? And he's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, I'm working on this project, and it's centered around whiskey, and I'm curious about, like, consumer habits from a previous generation. And he was like, all right, yeah, whatever. I'm like, so what's your go-to drink? And he says, Jack Daniels. All right, cool. Like, what about, you have any siblings? What do they drink? Friends, da-da-da. And it's either Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, or Crown Royal, or Hennessy too, right? And I'm like, he said 4 brands. He didn't say nothing about a single product or a single, like
Taste profile.
Nothing like that. And then I was like, oh, shit. That means I need to associate something that's so powerful with this brand name that you only associate that time with it. Because I asked him, like, why, so you like whiskey? He was like, yeah, I guess. He was like, well, why do you drink Jack Daniels? Because that's what we had, and he just named different memories and moments. So just like here, this moment is an Exclave moment, right? You can take that shit to your pop's house, shoot the shit, watch the game or whatever, and you remember that and you associate this time of your life, right, with the time that you have in right there. And I was like, oh shit. So yes, make the product good, but more importantly, figure out how you can make it resonate with people on a deeper level, because then they always remember that shit. It's like memories. Memories is like super powerful.
All right, so I got a question. That's completely off. So, like, what motivates you every day to really just keep going and try to grow it? And is it just like a passion for it? Or all right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there.
That's a Rolex?
That's what I'm talking about.
Something subtle, man.
Something real subtle right quick. Something real subtle right quick. I ain't even see it.
I was peeping the timepiece, but I'm like, I'm a yacht master too. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know that, but that's an Oyster Perpetual. What that is?
This the date just, you know, this my
Something slight.
Because you like
Working
nice
with.
things.
I'm saying the 13 piece or something.
Something slight trying to swag on the bitch.
Good job, Andrew.
This nigga funny, man.
Your question.
Yeah, so I was trying to see what motivates you. Is it just a nice thing?
No,
you enjoy doing this genuinely, or you know?
Yes, I do like nice things, but the real shit is like, for me, it's like family, legacy, shit like that.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't have shit that we leave when we gone except our name. That's it. You know, maybe I'm like, I don't know, egocentric or whatever.
Nah, you not.
Nah, that's
Me and Charles talking about that. Like, niggas have statues in cities because of them. That's what I'm saying. Like, people name schools behind people. Like, I mean, you left some type of legacy.
That's powerful.
Like, imagine Mo. They just got Morris Junior, whatever band school. You know what I'm trying to say? That's some shit. I'm just making some shit up now. You know, I'm just
that
saying.
nigga did not say his name at all. But I get what you're saying. For the concept,
I'm just saying some shit. But yeah, so they really have shit after that. Like, my middle school is Liver Days. Like, but the full name is like a man name, or like my elementary Geraldine Boudreaux. That's something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I be thinking,
Nigga won't leave that behind, so not too many niggas leave that behind.
It's like, what you,
Because it's hard.
what
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
think your
saying.
ultimate legacy looks like?
I don't know.
Or what do you want it to be?
A nigga that just did whatever you wanted to do.
Freedom.
Bro. That's real shit. Like, I was talking to my wife about this shit, and this is all like COVID, so we just got time to just talk. Clearly, I fucking talk a lot, and I would tell him like, yo, the only thing I really care about is freedom, and like I just want to be free to do whatever I want. You know what I mean? And working on this shit gives the resources to be free to do whatever the fuck I want to do. You know what I mean? Because that's what that shit is about. You got one life. Why would you do it according to what you are supposed to do or
What
what
society
somebody
tell you.
Yeah, fuck that shit. You're not double backing and doing this bitch again. So fuck it, you know.
Be free, man.
That's the same mindset. Like when I got out of college, like all my people was telling me like, go get this job, go get that job, and I'm like, bro, like I was working at Starbucks. I'm like, bro, I really thug it out at Starbucks. Like I know I'm gonna create something other than fucking like a structured job. Like I wake up every day and have like control of my schedule to an extent. And like what you saying about freedom, like I probably never thought about it in that sense. But like that's really what I'm after. Like I don't want to wake up every day and be like 9 o'clock. I go to work. I get off at 5. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather work to fucking. I'm gonna probably work to like 1 in the morning tonight. You know what I'm saying? But I know later in the week I might be like,
That's
I don't
like-
feel like
yeah.
doing shit today.
Right. That's like they tell you that bullshit, like, you only live once. It's like, man, fuck that shit. Man, I seen a tweet. Nigga said, man, niggas live every day. You only die once. I was like, ooh, that's that shit. Yeah. So I'm trying to live every day.
Look at Jahan, that done hit that.
Damn, that hit me. Fuck. Damn.
I was like, that's that shit. I wish I would have thought of that shit.
I think we're gonna end on that note, bro. We're gonna wrap that bit up. What's your last word to the people, man? Like if you had to leave off with anything, like talk to them.
Yeah, man, shit. Be free. Stay black. You know what I mean? Understand who you are and what you're trying to accomplish. You know, on some Nipsey shit, it's the marathon. That shit continues, so run your own race.
Million while you young.
Real shit. That's trying
Hey,
be some
Charles,
rich niggas,
take a
man.
shot to that, man.
Everybody take a shot.
Bitch, hold up.
You took nobody told you to take all them fucking shots, bitch. Come on, nobody told you.
That's for niggas
All right,
that's
come on,
under.
man. Shop Exclave. Come on, man.
I say that's nigga under
go to
23.
Follow us at Exclave Spirits. Shit.
Ah, you a bitch. Come on.
That's it. That's how you say that
That's
shit.
the bitches.
Toast,
Shit.
man.
Salute.
All right, man.
But wait,
I'm gonna let you take it off. You
wanna
gotta
tell
do
them
it. You've
what-
been running the
what
pod
follow
today.
personally?
Oh, me personally? Man, I'm not interested at all. Man.
Did we interview Exclave, the whiskey, or we interview you?
It's the same thing, huh?
Come on, man.
The whiskey speaks.
That's that boy. That's that boy in the bottle right
The
there.
whiskey spoke, but he ain't talked during this interview.
Nah, you could follow me, Andrew.j.albert. All I be doing is just posting jokes and shit. That's it.
Social media should not to be taken seriously.
It's not. It shouldn't, bro. It's supposed to be fun.
Hey, but for real, we really do appreciate you.
I appreciate
you know
y'all.
what I'm saying? Like, I really learned a lot because I actually didn't know anything about you at all. These niggas was like, hey, nigga, we interviewing this nigga. I was just like, yo, who the fuck is this nigga type shit? I was
Right,
just
no, that's
like,
real.
whatever, know what I'm saying?
Man,
So,
I'm just a nigga in all black. That's it.
I was just like, hey, cool dude, know what I'm saying? Nice timepiece. I'm like,
You know
hey,
how
let's
we
see
met
what
him?
you
We really
talking
met him through you. We met the nigga off a hat game.
For real?
Real
He
shit.
had a
Nigga
J-Tips
was
on.
feeling.
Oh yeah,
Nigga
yeah,
was
yeah,
feeling.
yeah, for sure.
Nigga was
Yeah.
feeling the J-Tips hat. It's all because of you.
about? Damn,
You really the glue.
low key. Low key, shit.
Facts. I appreciate you pulling up.
Appreciate y'all, man. No, this was fun, though.
You got any closing remarks?
Man, y'all been doing good. I'm having a bad pod, but you know my dude's holding it down. It's MJ and
Yeah,
Pippin
you
over there.
George,
Kill
bro.
that right there in front of you.
Well, I've been
Nah,
drinking
he
for a
drink-
minute though.
Austin,
Man, for real?
Austin
I'm a
the
grown
light,
man.
bro.
Oh,
A
man,
lightweight.
my
He
bad.
He ducked
This
shots
like my
at me
third.
at the
It's
kick
like
at
my third or
Airbnb.
second
You
glass.
You been drinking like me.
Exactly like my
You been
third or
drinking with
second
me.
glass.
This is my third shot. Listen,
What the fuck? A third shot to have a glass.
Austin
You also had a
ducked
little
me
bit of that, too.
at a kickback. He duck shot, bro. We took shots at a kickback. We walk outside, get in the car. Austin still got his shot. I'm like, bro, I thought I watched you take the shot.
We had a little gas though. So
All right,
in
we're
his
gonna
defense.
get off of that. We're gonna get off.
I had about 3. It didn't matter. I'm not about to just take
You
shots
flew
from
game
random
George,
people.
bro. That wasn't you knew everybody.
Look,
in the
that
room.
just mean I gotta come back and do it again when you ready. When
Come,
you
bro. I like that.
I was drinking that. Oh yeah, you right. Do facts. You got
He was like, nah,
It's a
fuck
pop-up.
that shit. You ain't coming back.
Nah, Austin. Nah, y'all gotta come back in. Austin got a lot in common.
Nah. We putting up to the Atlanta or the DC. What's up? We
man,
putting
We're
up
putting
one
up
of
to
them.
DC and we'll do the interview in DC.
Check them out. That's lit, huh?
Yeah.
Atlanta and DC, we up, we coming. I'm in Atlanta tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. Getting it in.
All right, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock.
All right, yeah.
You can get this clip out. Just my last remark. Appreciate you for joining us, bro. You dropped a lot of jewels. I love to connect with you outside this.
For sure, bro.
Facts. That philosophy shit crazy, though.
That's that shit.
I think that's an interesting perspective to go into business. Like, I feel like you should study philosophy because it will help you understand the thought process behind your consumer.
My son going to school for philosophy. Shout out to Andrew.
You haven't all
We're going to take us out, man. FTO Part 1.
Yeah, facts. Appreciate y'all for joining us. Fuck with us. Shop Exclave. Shop Like Sushi. Shop Level. Shop Guillotine if it drop. Man, shop everything black on.
Shop Mo, man. Shout out to Juwan.
Yeah,
this
man,
nigga the best cameraman on the
If you need
planet.
your fucking audio done, go with Mo. If you need your shit shot, book with you, and he make beats.
All that shit with the elements and the body.
Yeah.
Shout out Like Sushi, nigga. Shout out M Lines, all in it.
Yeah, shout out fucking garden gnomes. Shout out raw paper, man.
I love it.
Man, shout out J Tips. You take forever, man. Shout out all that shit, man. Man, shout out me too. Y'all,
We outside!
Shout outs, man. Shout out Mito. We gods, boy. Tell him.
Fuck it. Oh, man. Where the bitches at, man? Fuck. You can stop it. Let's do a drop. Nigga feel like battle rap.
I hit him from the side, then the other side.
Show him that stroke, Show him that stroke. Show him that stroke.
You're getting it, man. Good.
Yeah!